You know that sinking feeling you get, especially when it comes to money, where something just doesn't feel right? Well, today we're going to dive into a super simple story about a missing day's pay. But trust me, it unpacks a much, much bigger idea. Why having a good system will always beat just relying on trust. Look, we all want to believe that good faith is enough, right? We trust people to do the right thing, to be fair. But what happens when that trust cracks? What happens when it comes down to your word against theirs and there's nothing else to back you up? That's when things get really messy. So, let me introduce you to Ben. He's a student, he's juggling classes, working part-time at a local cafe to make ends meet. He's exactly the kind of person you'd want to hire, you know? He's dependable, he works hard, he's just trying to get by. Now, the cafe where he works, it pretty much runs on a handshake. The rules are as simple as it gets. Just show up on time, do your job, and you'll get paid at the end of the month. It seems like a perfect, friendly, easygoing setup. But, systems that are built only on trust, well, they can be a lot more fragile than they look. So payday finally comes around. The boss hands Ben his cash for the month. But the second he holds it in his hand, his gut just screams that something is wrong. It feels light. It's not a huge amount, but it's just enough to plant that little seed of doubt in his mind. Later that night, Ben pulls out this little notebook where he just kind of jots down his hours. He counts up the days, then he counts them again, and yep, there it is. An entire day's worth of pay is missing. That gut feeling he had, it wasn't just a feeling, it was a fact. The next day, Ben works up the courage to talk to his boss. He's nervous, he's trying to explain that there must have been a simple mistake, but the boss just isn't having it. He cuts him right off. I don't think so. This is what you get. And just like that, the conversation is over. Door slammed shut. But Ben doesn't back down completely. He mentions the specific day he's pretty sure is missing. The boss pauses for a second, looks at him, and then hits him with the one question that changes absolutely everything. Do you have proof? And in that one moment, this isn't about trust anymore. It's about cold, hard evidence. And Ben just freezes. Proof? What proof? There was never a sign-in sheet. He didn't take a photo. There was no text message confirming his shift. There was nothing. All he has is his memory against his boss's memory. And he's hit with this wave of anger and just total helplessness. He knows he's right, but he realizes that without records, the truth just isn't enough. So, feeling pretty defeated, Ben tells a friend what happened. And his friend says something that's like a total light bulb moment. It completely reframes the whole problem for him. His friend says, listen, money follows rules, and fairness needs records. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of the issue, isn't it? On one side, you've got the world of feelings. You have trust, you have memory, you have this vague sense of what's fair. It's all kind of fuzzy and subjective. But on the other side, you have a system. You have time records, written schedules, saved messages. These things are objective. They're concrete. They create a shared reality that everybody can agree on. So Ben decides, okay, never again. He builds his own simple system. And this isn't about being difficult, it's just about being clear. First, he makes sure to sign in every single day, creating a record. Second, he saves every text, every message about a schedule. And third, when payday comes, he doesn't just hope it's right. He actually checks his paycheck against his records. He's taking back control. So what happens the very next month? His pay is perfect, down to the penny. There's no argument, no stress, no doubt. The system just worked. And Ben doesn't just feel happy about getting the right amount of money. He feels calm. He's not at the mercy of someone else's memory anymore. He's protected. And here's the real takeaway from all of this. A good system isn't about a lack of trust. It's actually about creating clarity. It's a set of rules that protects everyone. It protects the worker for sure, but it also protects the boss from confusion and arguments. It builds a foundation of fairness that both sides can stand on. Now, Ben's story was about a part-time job, but this idea applies literally everywhere, from big projects to small favors for friends. It really makes you think, doesn't it? So just take a second and ask yourself this. Where in your life are you just relying on trust when a simple, clear system could bring you fairness, clarity, and, a whole lot more peace of mind?